Hello, my name is Karina, and I talk about Toronto, Canada. And the advantage its inhabitants are very friendly with an open mentality. Despite its size and the every quiet city with a very efficient, well connected public transport system. It is one of the safest cities in the world with mixed cultures are very rich. It has very attractive job outlook with many job offers all sectors. The salaries are among the highest of Canada, and with the disadvantage are traffic congestion. It's a really cold continental climate and long ride with windy winters. Volume of riding room is quite expensive, and in Toronto, Canada, the typical food, is la poutine, a sandwich of beef fume, make with cheese, peel, bacon, and salmon. And in tradition, have with Canada Day is Canada Independence, and caravan for the mixed cultures that exist, and Saint Patrick's Day, Guy Pride Day, and Canada have a famous in Toronto, Canada, are Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, and Jimmy Carrey. He is the actor of Canada. Thank you very much.
Now moving to Ottawa, the advantages that this city has is there is a fairly green city. This means that Canada is a place where there is a lot of nature. It's one of the safest cities in Canada, so you can walk around on the night and feel safe. There is not much traffic, and the disadvantages are that there is not much nightlife and entertainment. This city is not a Paris city, it's more like a calm city. It's a bit expensive, not as Toronto or Vancouver, but it's expensive. The weather can be hard to tolerate, more in winter, because in winter it's very, very cold. The population in Canada in 2021 was 1,408,000, and the political system that Ottawa has is federal constitutional monarchy. Also, in the economic system is based in technology, so Canada is a center of technology. In the typical food, there is a candy that is very, very traditional in Ottawa. The name of it is beaver tail. And as I said, this candy is very popular in Ottawa. Then we have a sandwich. The name of it is beef fume. This consists of smoked lamb sandwiches. And then we have the braised lamb shank. This is a leg of lamb, slow cooked with garlic, rosemary, tomatoes, and red wine. This plate is considered one of the most sensual dishes in Ottawa. And talking about traditions, at Christmas in Ottawa, fireworks are frequent, so this is like considered a tradition. Singtuk is also celebrated, and it's an Eskimo festival characterized by its dances and songs. Moving to famous people, we have Brad Sox. He's a Canadian rock musician who releases his music under a Creative Commons license with independent and non-profit record labels. Then we have the political Gerald Tremblay, graduated in law for the University of Ottawa in 1969. He also has an MBA from Sydney School in Boston, obtained in 1972. And the last one is Caitlin Conlon, which is a Canadian marine biologist specializing in Antarctic marine biology. She was named one of Canada's greatest explorers by Canadian Geographic. Now moving to United Kingdom, I'm going to start talking about London. And I'm going to start with a few things about this city. And I'm going to say advantages and disadvantages. Starting with the advantages, they are that the food is very varied, the unemployment rate is almost non-existent, and there is a lot of diversity of cultures, so you can feel free talking and saying anything you want and doing anything you want in that city, obviously respecting the rules. The disadvantages is that it's very expensive, the weather is very rainy and cloudy, always, And the food is also very crazy and not healthy. The population in 2019 was 8 million, and in the political system, they have a parliamentary monarchy. So this means that they, unlike other regimes, and they have a constitution that is a single political code. It's not like a constitution, it's just a code that requires a special procedure for elaboration and reform to determine basic institutions of the state, its territorial regime, and the rights. Now, talking about economic system, is dominated by service industries, particularly financial services and associated professional services. Okay, now as I said, the food of London is very crazy and not healthy. I put here 3 examples of it, of the typical food. The first one is the full English breakfast. This breakfast is only eaten on special occasions. This English breakfast consists of strips of bacon, fried eggs, sausages, beans, hash brown, black pudding, fried tomato and mushrooms, all accompanied by a piece of toast. Now the second one is fish and chips. This food is very traditional on London. The afternoon tea and cream is the third one. It has become the most distinctive English rituals, traditionally served between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. And speaking about traditions, one of London's oldest tradition takes to the streets every November to fill the entire city with light and color. This is the Lord Mayor's show that is carried out so that the mayor of the city reach the Royal Court of Justice, traveling almost 5 kilometers between costume characters reminiscent of the carnivals of cities like Rio de Janeiro. Next one is the traditional tea ceremony at 5 p.m. It's hundreds of years old in England. About the famous people that raised in London, we have Amy Winehouse. She was a British jazz, rhythm and blues, soul singer and songwriter. Known for her powerful voice, she came to be described as the diva of soul. Then we have Isabel I, known as the Virgin Queen, Gloriana, or the Good Queen Bees. She was Queen of England from November 17, 1558 until the day of her death. Then, moving to the cultural, we have William Shakespeare. He was an English writer, poet, and playwright. 4 centuries after his birth, he remains one of the most significant names in universal literature.
Hi, my name is Michelle and I'm talking about the Sheffield. One advantage of Sheffield, one is the most important factor economic, and Sheffield is much cheaper than other cities in England, especially London. In fact, one of the factors on how fit a ideal decision to learn English. One of the easiest ways to get Sheffield is by train. It's to good the connection on British and network. For example, if you fly London, the trip to Sheffield will only take about 2 hours if your flight is to Manchester. The train journey will be less than an hour. Urban transport has high levels of efficiency, but it's also more expensive than any of cities. And traditions on Sheffield, an incredible, beautiful and historical festival held annually in Sheffield. The festival highlights not only local culture, but also the history, the destiny of distant countries. Even attendees can learn a lot of interesting things about ancient Greece and Rome and watch Viking parties. The most common dish in Sheffield is the fast berry food. It's very popular in England. The dish consists of different types of fish and fries. Sheffield is governed by the elected members of Sheffield, an institution founded in 1943. This council has been controlled by the majority of the Labour Party, and the 7% of the active population in Sheffield is the industries, well above the national average of the 4%. Open Up Sheffield is an annual event held during the first 2 weeks to May, where local visual artists and fine craft workers invite the public into studios and the other places.
Hello, my name is Jessica and I'm going to explain you something about Mumbai. Mumbai is an overpopulated metropolis in economic development with a democratic political system and high rate of poverty, something bad. But one of its most popular festivals is the Holi Festival or Festival of Love in Spring, where it consists of throwing colored powders into the air, representing the god with the face blue. when his mother let him paint his face in any color so that he will not feel bad for his looks. Okay, something memorable. And also the Ganesh Chanturi, that is a Hindu festival celebrated in honor of Ganesha, the elephant-headed god. Okay, so interesting. And one of their typical meals is the thalim. It consists of rice, yogurt, vegetables also, and also chana malesa, made with peas and seeds with rice. Very tasty, don't you think?
Now in Agra, India, the advantages are that the transportation is quite cheap and the winters are sweeter. This means that they are not so cold. And well, has the Taj Mahal. The disadvantages is that the trains fill up very fast. The city is highly polluted and there are few architectural elements. I mean, there is not a lot to see in the city. The population is 1,070,000 of people. This was in 2011. The political system is a democratic form of government based on Westminster system. This system comprises a head of state and an elected parliament made up of one or two houses. In economy, Agra has a large number of textile and clothing industries that are destined for export. So this is like the most important for economy in Agra. Also, the tourism is a very important thing here. And the typical food, we have jalebi. This is a typical Indian sweet that is dipped in syrup and shaped into a pretzel. Then we have tikka chicken. This boneless chicken is marinated with spices and yogurt. Then it is prepared on skewers and put on the grill. The last one is the biryani. This rice dish has everything: meat, vegetable, spices such as cardamom, bay leaf, mint, and yogurt can be missing. In the traditions, we have an event. The name of it is Taj Mahotsav. This is an annual 10-day event in Agra. This festival invokes memories of the ancient Mughal era and the Nawabi style. Then we have the Kailash Fair. It's among the most colorful fairs take place in Agra. The entire township is decorated with colorful lights, and in this event they celebrate the appearance of Lord Shiva in an incarnation of a stone lingam. Now moving to the famous people, we have Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He was an Indian politician who served as a Prime Minister of India for 2 terms. One very short term in 1996 and another from 1998 to 2004. He was considered the greatest leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Hindu nationalism in India. Then we have Madhur Mittal, which is an Indian actor. He is best known for his character Fruitito in the TV serial Shakalaka Boom Boom, and his performance as Salim Malik in the film Slumdog Millionaire, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture of 2018. The last one is Ashok Shingal. He was the international working president of the Hindu organization Vishva Hindu Parishad for over 20 years and in charge of the Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi movement. Thank you for your attention. This is the end of our evidence. Hope you like it. And thank you for travel with us.